Good Monday morning, December the 18th, 2023. We're close, man. We are so close to the end of the year. We are how many chapters we got here? 13, five more chapters. We'll get it done. We'll get this done before the end of the year. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Today we're on chapter 6, the 7 slight edge principles. So you know now what the slight edge is all about, right? How the slight edge either works for you or against you, right? It works for you or against you. We've read about the importance of doing the little things, the seemingly insignificant things, small things done consistently over time, that don't seem like a big deal, but they really are a big deal, right? Seemingly insignificant tasks that add up to success, right? And so we've also talked so far about how Jeff Olson implemented the slight edge philosophy into his life. Remember, your philosophy creates what? Go all the way back, right? We go all the way back. Your philosophy creates your attitude creates your actions, your actions create your results, and your results create your life or your lifestyle, right? Every day, little things, right? So the 7 slight edge principles, we got, 10 minutes or so, 11 minutes or so. Number 1, show up, right? Show up. Woody Allen says 80% of success is just showing up, right? That's key. Especially if you work in a job where you don't have a boss, so to speak, right? You don't want to go to work today, don't go to work today. Don't get paid, right? Don't go to work, don't get paid. Show up. Number 2, be consistent, right? Tom Seaver, great baseball player, said, in baseball, my theory is to strive for consistency, not to worry about the numbers. If you dwell on statistics, you get short-sighted. And if you aim for consistency, the numbers will be there at the end. Showing up is important, but it's companion, right? It goes hand in hand like this, is consistency. That's what makes it powerful. Show up consistently, right? Showing up consistently is where the magic happens, because consistency is what yields results, right? Consistency yields results. Number 3, have a good attitude, right? Attitude, Winston Churchill said, is a little thing that makes a big difference, right? So you show up consistently with a good attitude, right? Oh, it's getting harder, isn't it? Right? Show up consistently with a good attitude, right? He tells this story about a news show he watched one night on CNN that said there's 25 longest living civilizations on Earth. People live well past the age of 100, and he tried to find out what was the common thread. And in his findings, the number 1 characteristic that determined whether you live over 100 years is a positive outlook on life. Attitude, right? Beware of the crazies, right? Beware of the crazies. It's hard to have a good attitude with everything that's going on in society. And he wrote this, oh my goodness, when did he write this one? This edition, right? This edition, 2011, looks like 2011, 13 years ago, right? And he talks about all the stuff that's going on in society today. Think about 13 years later. Negativity can show up on your doorstep every day, 7 days a week, whether you want it or not. You need to filter out all the garbage, right? That's French, garbage. Filter it out, right? How do you inoculate yourself from the cuckoos? He said one of his all-time favorite books, Think and Grow Rich. Create your own mastermind, right? Create your own mastermind. Create your own group of people that you hang out with that are positive, have a like attitude, that are like-minded, right? You can find them, right? You can find them. Hang out with them, right? Then he says, embrace the funk. right? Because sometimes it's hard to stay positive with all the negativity in the world, right? Um, that, that's it's tough, right? Um, but everybody gets in a funk every once in a while, right? He says, embrace it. Everyone gets a funk. But here's what I learned. I finally came to realize, this is Jeff Olson. I finally came to the realization one day that there's no way that I can understand love if I haven't felt hurt. I can't know good without knowing what's bad. I can't feel happy and content without feeling the funk. Life has an ebb and a flow to it, right? So when bad things are happening to you, you need to embrace the funk with the principles that you've learned in this book, right? Show up anyway, be consistent, show up with a good attitude, right? So if something's hard and difficult and adversity's at your front door, embrace it, because it's going to refine you like a refiner's fire and make you stronger, right? And it will get you unstuck, right? Number 4, be committed for a long period of time, right? It takes a long time to grow an old friend, right? So remember, we said show up, be consistent, have a good attitude. Number 4 was, be committed for a long period of time. So that you gotta know that it's in the future. What you're searching for is in the future, right? And you just keep plugging away. Listening to Michael Reese, right? Listening to Michael Reese, and he's sales guy, and he talked about creating systems, and but he didn't want to do the work, right? He didn't want to do the work, and that's okay, because you know what he did? He said he did the work for 90 days, so he knew how to do it, right? He says, because I can do anything for 90 days, and then pay somebody else to do it, right? But if you aren't going to do it yourself, if you want to be successful and you aren't going to do it yourself, because let's face it, we all get into business so that we don't have to do all the work ourselves, right? Do it so you know what you're doing, and then pay somebody else to do it if that's the case, right? So be committed for a long period of time. Give yourself time to work, right? People underestimate how long it's going to take for something. So stay at it. Number 5, have faith and a burning desire, right? Have faith and a burning desire. The one quality that you must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose. That's Napoleon Hill. Definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it, right? Napoleon Hill says there's one quality that one must possess to win. That is a definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it, right? The number one commonality of all the people that Napoleon Hill interviewed for the book was faith, along with a burning desire, right? Successful people look at a problem and see an opportunity, right? There are problems. If you're in the real estate industry, there are problems in the industry. We have to look for the opportunities. What opportunities do these problems bring? Number 6, right? So let's recap real quick. Number 1, show up. Number 2, be consistent. Number 3, have a good attitude. Number 4, be committed for the long haul, right? For a long period of time. Number 5, faith and a burning desire. Number 6, be willing to pay the price, right? What is it that you are willing to do, that you are willing to sacrifice in order to be successful, right? Is it time? Is it money? Is it time and money? Is it friendships, relationships, whatever? What is it that you're willing to sacrifice? People ask about doing real estate part-time, right? And I tell them that's fine. You can do real estate part-time. What are you willing to give up in order to be successful in real estate? Because if you're doing it part-time, if you're working a full-time job and you're going to do real estate on the side, you can't give up the full-time job, right? You're not going to quit. So what are you going to give up? Your free time, your Netflix time, your family time? What are you giving up? And are you going to be willing to do that, right? number 6, you have to be willing to pay the price, right? There is a price that will be paid, right? And then number 7, the last one, right? Practice slight edge integrity, right? Integrity is not a conditional word. It does not blow in the wind or change with the weather, right? The slight edge integrity says slight edge integrity is what you do when no one is watching, right? What you do when no one is watching. That is the slight edge integrity. It is doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you, right? Get that. Doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood that you set it in has left you. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I said I'm going to make these phone calls every day. Tomorrow, I'm excited. I'm almost as fired up, but not quite as fired up as I was yesterday, but I'm still plugging away, right? Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you've made all these calls. You've been making calls, and not getting the results that you want. And you get a little down, right? Keep plugging away. Do the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you, right? Tom Ferry says, do the thing, have the power, right? Do the thing, have the power. Slight edge business integrity, right? He tells a little story about Kobe Bryant, right? And Kobe Bryant's, workout routine and everything is integrity, slight edge integrity, business integrity, right? When you own a business, there's nobody that's telling you that you have to be at work or shouting in your ear to make those sales calls, right? There's nobody. This is that whole self-employment thing, right? If you don't want to work, don't work. You don't have to. But if you don't, you're not gonna, you lose that momentum, right? Nobody's there to make sure you're on top of your vendors. Nobody's there to make sure that your books are up to date. Nobody's there to tell you what to do. It's up to you to do it. And this is why most people fail in real estate, right? They don't have that slight edge integrity that it takes to stay above water, right? They become intoxicated by being their own boss, and they fail to maintain the kind of structure that they need to be successful, right? That is what kills people in the real estate business. Not just real estate, but real estate has a very high turnover rate, right? So are you ready to do the little things when nobody's watching, right? There's a great quote that says, if you add a little to a little, and you do this often, then the little will become great, right? Doesn't make any difference whether it's school, corporate America, starting your own business, whatever. That quote has been the formula that Jeff Olson used to his entire life to gain the slight edge, right? The book, The Slight Edge, right? It changed his life, right? There are everyday people. He gets nothing. I mean, if you have the book, and I think the newer version, the more recent version has more, I may have this on Kindle. The more recent version has more testimonials. There are lots of testimonials in this book. Every chapter has a testimonial, a story, that somebody talks about how the slight edge changed their life, right? And he said these quotes come from everyday people that are implementing the slight edge principles into their lives and doing amazing things. Successful people doing the little things that don't seem to make any difference at all when they're doing them, but they do them over and over and over and over again, consistently and persistently, with a good attitude over a long period of time. That's what the slight edge is all about, right? There's a story in here about his daughter, Jeff Olson's daughter. He says, just as his daughter asked him how she could separate herself from the pack, you have the chance to do the same. And in doing so, not only will you change yourself, but you might also change the people around you, right? So the key points from chapter 6, write this down if you haven't written it down. If you don't have the book, I hope you have the book. But 7 principles: show up consistently with a good attitude over a long period of time, have faith and a burning desire, be willing to pay the price, and have slight edge integrity and the discipline to do those things, even when nobody's looking. And that, my friends, is the slight edge principles, the 7 principles of the slight edge. The slight edge, Jeff Olson. Tomorrow, chapter 7, 2 different paths, right? 2 different paths. Remember, the slight edge works for you or it works against you. Small things done consistently over time, whether they're positive things or negative things, they make all the difference in the world. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that you will get out there and make today the best day of your life so far. We'll see you tomorrow right here, Millionaire Mindset Book Club. Have a great day.